I am very excited to announce that we just recently surpassed the 3,000 subscriber mark. This has been such a fun journey in this year plus, making videos for you guys, talking about VeVe and Ecomi, the app and the projects that we all love and enjoy every day. So I could not thank you guys enough. Thank you so much for all the support. I appreciate everyone who has ever left a comment, left a like, or even just viewed the video. So I just want to say thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Let's go, bro.
As we all know, VeVe gave us the D over the past weekend. As we all know, VeVe gave us the D last weekend. We got the Genie lamp, and with it came an airdropped Disney logo, which is the D I'm referring to. Don't get any ideas. This was a really cool drop to be a part of because A, we saw the finale of the golden moments. None of us were sure when it was going to end, how many characters they would release. Honestly, I assumed that they would release all 50 characters that you see in the theme park that all have their golden statues. That seemed to make the most sense to me. But they announced that this drop was the finale. We are closing the book on the golden moments, and this will be the first ever Disney collection for all time. You can put a pin in it. So if you landed this final golden moments drop, not only did you get airdrop the Disney logo, you are also going to get a promo code that will give you early access to lock in a new NFT that's coming out from Disney, which is the Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey NFT. So on its face, all these things sound really cool, right? But there has been some controversy related to this drop, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. So what's going on, guys? My name is NFT Flenny, and this is your go-to place for weekly VeVe and Ecomi videos where we cover the most important and exciting developments in the projects. Let's get into this one. And you guys know I gotta say it, this is not financial advice, and it will never be financial advice. So there are three things that I'm gonna cover as to my opinions and my thoughts as to how this all went down. So first, I'll go over what my heart says, then I'll go over what my brain says, and then I will go over the silver lining, and it'll probably fall somewhere in the middle of my two opinions that I'm going to lay out here. So first, we're going to the heart, and my heart is a little bit sad, and that is because I feel like this airdrop was kind of not a slap in the face. That might be a bit too dramatic and maybe a bit too extreme, but someone like me, I know there are a lot of people, we've been here since the first ever Disney drop. We've been holding the golden moments for almost a year now. We've been collecting sets, and for people to just hop in once they see that there is rewards and airdrops for a drop, people who come out the woodworks. I'm not sure how prevalent bots are. It kind of seems like there is still some kind of bot activity, which there always will be. But anyway, to me, it seemed like this drop was more so rewarding people who were lucky or have good phones or have good latency, as opposed to people who truly want to collect and hold and invest in Disney. And it just kind of feels like collectors get left out sometimes. And I'm not saying that VeVe owes me or anybody else anything, and I'm very confident that they will reward us in the future, but it's been a very long time with little to nothing to show for us sticking through, whether it be the very beginning when, you know, the app wasn't working and they were barely getting off the ground, or now when we're sticking through, we're still selling out drops when it's a bear market, when we're in a global recession, and when things are going terribly, we're still keeping up the hype, we're still being engaged, and we're still supporting their project. It would be kind of nice to get some of that reward, especially when there is no mechanism in the app currently to reward holders and collectors and that sort of thing. Because as we all know, the Master Collector program has been pushed back for so long. We're not getting rewarded for that currently. And so we just really been kind of left in the dust, in my opinion. But that leads me to part two, which is where I will be speaking from the brain, and I'll be trying to leave as many emotions out of it as possible. So the first thing to consider is that Disney is a business, and they're very good at business, and they're very good at making money, and that is because they know exactly how to do it. And if you just reward people for holding, that's not going to bring in the type of money that they're looking for. So let me explain. First of all, they make money off of every single transaction that happens. So they honestly probably don't want to incentivize holding and collecting and never selling all that much. Because to them, if they can bring on 10,000 people who wouldn't have gone on to the drop anyways, and they get it and they're going to flip it and sell it immediately, they're just raking in royalties off of all that. So if they just reward collectors who have been holding it for a week, for a month, for a year, they've been getting no royalties during all that time. So they might not want to incentivize and reward that. So in most cases, the licensor probably wants the flippers to be the ones who secure the drops. They don't want collectors to get them. So although I do think it would be very nice of VeVe and Disney to reward their loyal collectors, if you're looking at it strictly from a business, profit, money-making perspective, that is not going to be the way to make you the most money. And let me just say that you don't get as big as the Walt Disney Company by giving out handouts and by being nice all the time. And Disney is in a position to where they don't really need to cultivate a really strong grassroots fan base. They already have everything that they can need and more. You know, if it's an independent artist who rewards people who've been holding their artwork, you know, that can earn them good favor. You know, it can earn them more loyalty. But Disney, they are pretty much maxed out on that. And they don't need that for us to watch their movies, watch their shows, buy their souvenirs, their concessions, go to the theme parks. They already have all that on lock. So they don't really need to win over a lot of good favor with us. Even though it would be nice, they don't need to. But there is a flip side to that, which is more of a long-term strategy and more of a long-term thinking, and I'm not ruling this out whatsoever. But that is that if you do surprise airdrops and if you just periodically reward collectors and holders, then that will incentivize people to go for more drops, to buy more sets that they wouldn't have bought originally. Because if there's a chance of you getting more Disney just by holding Disney, then people will maybe go for drops and buy in the market when they wouldn't have before. And another thought that's coming from up here in the old noggin is that this was most likely just a test run, and they wanted to just see how it would work, how it would play out, and they just wanted to start off simple and see how it goes, and they can build off of that. Disney is trying to learn and navigate this NFT and Web3 landscape just like we are. So they don't know what's a guarantee lock to work. They don't know what's going to be successful. They don't know what people are going to gravitate toward. They don't know how the community is going to respond. So this is just the first one. Keep that in mind. They can take this a million different ways. They could have more drops like this, where if you get it on the drop, you get utility. They could have, if you've been holding for a week, you get it. If you've been holding for a year, if you have the whole collection. And I'm pretty sure, David, you did say that there will be airdrops, or that, you know, there's a possibility at least of airdrops coming for holding the entire Disney set.
Once it comes to an end, that, you know, that, let's just say that storyline, if you've got the whole collection, could there be an airdrop?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I mean, well, I think it's a trick question. we want to always reward people who hold them or collect them with something cool.
And also, I just really quickly want to say that keep in mind that Disney is likely the one calling 99% of the shots. They are extremely meticulous with every single little tiny detail, not just when it comes to VeVe or their collectibles. That goes for everything they ever put out. They are obsessive over how their brand appears and is perceived and how it is put out to the public. So I doubt that they're giving VeVe little to any free reign to, you know, make those creative decisions or to make the decisions about what gets airdropped, how it gets airdropped, this and that. When we're considering these things, maybe cut VeVe a little bit more slack and just realize that Disney has the vast majority of the leverage in this situation, and it ultimately is their IP. So we touched on the heart, we touched on the brain. Now it's time for the silver lining, a little bit of in between, where I'll kind of give some pros and cons, and I will lay out what it means for the future and how this is laying the foundation for what's to come, and why we probably shouldn't overreact one way or another to how this played out. So first of all, the fact that a company as big as Disney is even doing an airdrop, is even providing utility, is a massive step forward for NFTs, Web3, and digital collecting. Airdrops and utility have been few and far between on VeVe up to this point, whether that be independent artists, small companies, big companies, anything. So the fact that one of the first ones that we get come from Disney really shows to me how committed they are to not only NFTs and digital collecting, but to VeVe themselves too. And like I mentioned earlier, they are trying to navigate this NFT space, and they're using VeVe as their vessel to do that. Another important aspect that this drop signifies is the end of the golden moment. So now we know for sure this is the cutoff point, and to me, this seems like it'll be one of the most valuable NFT collections of all time. I mean, it's the first ever Disney collection from brands like Star Wars, The Simpsons, of course Disney itself. That was dumb to even say. Pixar, Winnie the Pooh, you name it. Tons of historically significant first appearances dropped within this collection. It had great variety, and it includes a double first appearance of Walt Disney himself and Mickey Mouse. It's honestly really hard to see a collection beating this one. But I honestly like having the closure of it and knowing that I can fully collect these, and I'm not gonna be collecting for a year and then gets to a point where they drop one that's only 500 editions. It goes for 10K. And I've been spending money trying to collect everything, and then there's a cutoff point to where I couldn't. Like, for example, for a while I was trying to collect every single comic on VeVe, and then once I did those super limited runs, it became a lot harder, and then I lost my motivation to continue collecting every single comic. In the whole world, for the entire rest of human history, there will only be a few thousand people who can hold the entire Golden Moments collection. Walt has about 4,300 editions. I believe that is the lowest edition size out of any Golden Moment. And when you know people like Dr. Profit have hundreds and tons of other people have duplicates, you know, you can make a guesstimate that only about 2,000 people or so, that's just a guess, will ever be able to hold this entire collection. And think about this, there are only 500 members at a time in Club 33, which is the most exclusive club in the Disney parks. And it is kept low on purpose to make it exclusive. And there are tons of people on a wait list who have to wait for, Google says, up to 15 years. So there are obviously way more people than the 500 who are willing to get in that club. And in order to have a chance to get in, you have to pay, let me look it up. So for Disneyland's Club 33, it costs $25,000 up front and $10,000 every single year that you want to stay in the club. And then for Disney World, it's $33,000 to get in and $15,000 annually to keep it up. So if you don't think that there are a few thousand people willing to drop exorbitant amounts of money on the first ever Disney collection, then I do not know what to tell you. It is not just grandmas. It is not just little kids who like and enjoy Disney. It is people across all generations. They are putting out new stuff all the time that kids love, like Frozen. They have the old classics, like Steamboat Willie and the Mickey and Friends type things, all the way up to now. So there is a huge demographic of people who love Disney, and we pretty much all enjoy Disney content, especially since they own just about everything these days. And one aspect of this that I really do like is the creativity, having the genie lamp grant wishes and that kind of thing. They could do this with so many of their characters. Disney is great at storytelling, at theatrics, at the overall experience. So they can create so many new experiences with these digital collectibles that have never been seen before. So although things could have been probably more fair, maybe gone a bit more smoothly, I think just the fact that Disney is stepping out and even trying this is such a good sign for what's to come. And it is so exciting. And they can really build off of this so much. The possibilities are endless. And I'll leave you guys with a tweet that I think sums everything up that I've talked about perfectly from yours truly. If I don't say so myself, I think it's a pretty good tweet. You guys should follow me on Twitter. And here's what it says. So I was quote tweeting the announcement about the Gold Moments finale drop. And I said, utility, gamification, innovation, and great creativity to conclude the first ever Walt Disney NFT collection. You don't need to be a visionary to see this opportunity. And this is just the very beginning. The future is somehow even brighter than I thought. So there you go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you agree with me, if you think that the airdrop was done well, if you think they should have rewarded collectors more, or if you think it's just business and money making, that's all it is to it, or if you think it's somewhere in between. I want to hear all of it down in the comments below. I love hearing your guys' opinions. You guys really give me some good ideas and things to consider, so drop everything down there. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. As always, my name is NFT Flenny, and I will catch you guys next time.